Hey everybody, this is Jay from South Texas RC and BRB Racing. Well, I already put out there the video of the Arrma Vorteks, where it all went wrong. Well, as going through, y'all know, I think I showed, I did show in that video, everything that I did on the repairs, and it trickled over into the Typhon also with the motor. So when I reached out to them and I told them, look, I've already repaired the trucks, here's all the data, they said, super, go ahead, send us the original sales receipts, send us a picture of the damaged items, we'll go ahead and take it from there. So I'm like, all right, great. Send them all that data yesterday that they needed. Today I get a reply back that says, we've sent you your motors. I'm like, motors? Just motors? So I called with the order number, did a confirmation, yes, they only included motors. There's a lot more of the story of stuff that failed. Yeah, I understand this is a hobby. Things are going to break, but then there's also manufacturer defects, and then there's engineering defects. So I'm going to cover that with the parts that I have laying over there, and then we'll take it from there, showing you the hoods of these trucks. So first thing, I guess we'll just go in a pile as the parts are laying here. We discussed about the tires, and of course it's kind of one of those he said, she said kind of things, to where, yeah, you can be responsible for messing up a tire, I get it. But these tires here, you're looking at maybe 11 packs were run through these tires, and it was only the rears that shredded up really bad. And it's like, okay, well, maybe you were doing some extreme hard burnouts or whatever. A little bit of tire spinning is not going to cause this. I've had Traxxas models that I've sat there and I've roasted the tires on it, and the tires still look brand new. It's the composite that these tires are made out of. They're more like a grayish color to them, black color. And this, the composite material they're made out of, the compound of this is just not really good. So the tires, definitely trash on that model. And of course the axles, they expanded on it from, of course, locking up. It caused some damage to the axles. That's another he said, he said, she said kind of thing. They don't cover that. So then I told them about the slipper clutch on the lockup. Caused the inside, there's supposed to be a piece that you can see here that's supposed to be closed off, that exploded. Well, I placed that on the list, but guess what? They didn't send that either. Of course, we know that they went ahead and sent the motors. The motor blew up. Can't even do anything with it because it scarred up the inside. Excuse all the piece of parts on here. Of course, you can see where it rubbed the Kevlar on here, messed it up. Then the bearings that go over the slipper clutch, they bound up internally inside. I listed the bearings for them. I also told them the bearings and the wheels were starting to go bad, but they didn't do anything with the bearings. There's the other motor. I've disassembled it, sent them photos, showed them the inside's already starting to wear. You can wiggle this thing back and forth. That's no bueno. So they did send two motors. I included about the servo glitching back and forth. It'll turn right and then hop, 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 hop to the left. Also told them it kind of messed up the servo saver when it wanted to lock up solid, but I guess that they didn't like my lengthy email about how there was defects, so he didn't even include the servo. So I'm going to do this through the actual hobby store. Of course, when you put the motors that I did, I used the 1410 Castle Creations 3800 kV motors. The heat sink is a little bit too long, so you can't get it to where the wire shroud's coming out, so couldn't use that. I'll have to use these on a future some kind of project. So I've got those. Those are still good and viable, but I wasn't expecting anybody to cover those. And of course, then the spur gear, it got flattened out when everything locked up and jammed out. But hey, guess what? They didn't include that either. So the only thing they included was two motors. Didn't do anything with that. Didn't do anything with this. Come on, guys, really? So basically, long story short, these did come out very good. I did use Arrma tires again. These are the granite tires. Let me go grab the other tire and you're going to see the difference. They're softer. They're more pliable. Kind of like a rock. I'd rather call these plastic tires, not rubber tires. That's what it reminds me of. I've run these pretty hard already. still perfectly fine. These tires, trash. Under the hood. Speed control still seems to be very good and healthy on these trucks. I have no complaint as of yet. Knock on wood. There's the Castle motor. New Power Hobbies fans. It's an inclusive one-piece model. Comes with the heat sink and the fan included. Of course, I did tires. Replaced the rear axles on this. This is the outcome. I'm going to shoot some video out back, show you how this one runs and performs. I told them, look, I said, the way you guys have these trucks set up and you're promising to run 3S, it doesn't work out. Especially if I would have continued to run this truck as a 3S with that 18 pinion on there, I have a feeling the motor would have probably failed around 5 runs like everybody else is complaining. There was even one guy that complained about a failure of the bearing the second run. So right now I'm running this as a 2S model. I have it geared with the 57 spur, of course, and the 15-tooth pinion is over there on this guy, and I lowered this one down to a 13 because I did put the larger tires. So I've got a 13 pinion over 57 here and a 15 over 57 here. Still the same thing. I'm running them as 2S. So that's how that one turned out also. So like I say, guys, I'm running these trucks as a 2S. I speed tested them. GPS on this truck here puts out around 35.5 miles an hour on a 2S. This guy here is doing the same, is putting out about 35 to 36 on a 2S. I did hook up a 3S. The truck can handle, you know, on the electronics, a 3S. It did take the truck up to approximately 67 miles per hour on this vehicle. And this one here reached about 57 miles per hour on 3S. But integrity engineering, 3S is very violent and it can tear up a truck really, really quickly. So I'm going to say stick with 2S on these models. Get rid of those motors. Put yourself a premium motor inside of there. On this one here, I put a Rage servo, high torque servo in here for a replacement. Knock on wood, so far this Spectrum's still working, but it was making a funky sound. So this one's going to probably go next. So there you have it, guys. These are the two trucks. I'm going to set the tripod up out back. I'm going to run them a couple of passes and you can see what they're all about. That sucked. So there you have it, guys. That's running on a 2S 3800 kV Castle motor. Got the granite tires. Once again, the spur gear is a 57, the pinion's a 13. You can't notice any kind of change in the truck power-wise. It's actually more powerful on this setup than their setup. So once again, there's that truck. Let me go grab the Typhon. I'll be right back. So there you have it, guys. There is the Typhon 3S with the 3800 kV Castle motor, 57 tooth on the spur, 15 tooth on the pinion. Talk about temps. Electronic speed controls are running anywhere from 92 degrees to 110. On the motor temps, they're pushing around, if you really get on them super hard, you're getting up around 160. But on normal driving, they're running around 122 to 135. So even the temps are down, running super cool. So once again, guys, also I added in that email to them, I said, thanks a lot for the 2.5 hours on hold. I got so tired of sitting there, I put it for callback. Then 3 hours later, I got a call back to open this case. Integrity-wise, guys, so far of the Arrmas I see, the chassis themselves are pretty darn good. They're really tough trucks. Traxxas at the same given time is a very tough truck, but the differences that I like so far in the two companies is that Traxxas has, it seems, way better customer service. You call them, you're not on hold very long. They're like super. Something messed up on your vehicle. What happened? Give us some details. Send them some pictures. They're like, no problem. We apologize that there was a problem with it. Either it was just something that happened during the assembly or it was an actual recall. Traxxas takes care of it immediately, no questions asked. Superior customer support. Arrma RC, on the other hand, customer service is kind of like a wet paper towel. But other than that, guys, I know that they are, starting out right now with these 1/10 scale models, running them as 3S, running them as 4S. They're kind of the new kid on the block. Traxxas has been around a lot longer doing these. So not saying that Horizon hasn't been around a long time, but with the Arrma line, that is a fairly new line. So let's give them a chance, see what they do. Maybe if they have enough people tell them their customer service skills suck, they'll do something about it. Other than that, guys, it is a hobby. Beware if you do upgrades to these trucks. You're paying for it because, of course, an upgrade is an upgrade. If something breaks, like in my case, they're going to cover some of it that they feel justified. Yet at the same given time, when that motor went out, it caused a lot of damage, but they think they're only responsible for just the motor. But anyway, guys, that's the review so far of Arrma RC. I hope you all enjoy. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends. Oh yeah, and another thing too, on the Vorteks, those wheel bearings, special shout out to Elliot at rchq here in San Antonio. He gave me some world-class bearings. I can't remember the name. I think he said it was Boca, or yeah, I think it was Boca bearings. And those things are absolutely great. I can't complain. They've been doing really good on the truck. So thanks, Elliot, on those bearings. That was a really good call. I tell you what, we're going to rename those bearings. We're going to call them Elliot Speedwagons. So go down to rchq. Tell them if they haven't watched the video, they're going to be in the dark. Tell them you need some Elliot Speedwagon bearings. So until next time, guys, I'm out.